University tubadde tunyumyamu njagala era twongere atuwe ku nsonga ekwata ku kugoba ebibiina by'obufuzi mu kulonda kwa Makerere University era mu ngeri yemu tujja kwogera ku nteekateeka ze oba oliawo naye anabeera nga bapoliticians abalala abaagala okuyingira mu by'obufuzi butereevu nga bwe tubalaba ba Norbert Mao ba Mbidde n'abalala bangi abaliko ba Good President Makerere University kati nga bali mu by'obufuzi by'eggwanga era bagenda mu maaso n'okulembera era gyatubuulira lwaki yasalawo okwegatta ku NUP mu kifo ky'ebibiina ebirala byonna era oluvannyuma gyatuba ne plan ze zalina Makerere University. Dangote.
Yes.
Makerere University banned the political parties' involvement into the good elections. But still during your campaigns, you were seen conversing for votes, but again putting on the NUP ballot. Somebody may think as if you still need political parties to get involved into the elections. What's your take?
Thank you, Mr. Muchibi, for that question. One, the laws of this land permit and give us the fundamental right to association.
Yes.
So my association with NUP does not have anything to do with the pronouncement of management, because that is my fundamental right, and it's the right of any other Makerere who chooses to associate themselves with NUP, with NRM, and with FDC or whatever political party that is there out in the Uganda or in the world. But particularly to the aspect of Makerere University, you see, Mr. Muchibi, when I tell my colleagues often that turning around does not turn your buttocks in front.
Yes.
When there's a challenge, like if at BBS we have a challenge maybe with network, you don't close BBS. You fix that particular challenge.
And then you continue.
The actual issue is not the involvement. If management thinks that there's over-involvement of political parties, actual political parties and their secretariats in our politics, that is what we should manage, their over-involvement. And then, because not cutting them completely off stopping students from leaning to particular political parties. And but it has been that we to the Electoral Commission, they do not actually recognize these candidates at the political party level. That is why on the ballot, even before management passed this particular resolution, we have not been allowed to have any party symbol on our ballot.
On the ballot paper? For
the 100 years.
But for the posters?
Posters are allowed. Posters are allowed.
But the ballot paper, no
ballot
party
paper
symbol.
Is not there, which is the official capacity or official capacity of the Electoral Commission.
Yes.
The thing is this: when you see political parties, ideally, I say ideally because I recognize the challenges within the political parties. Ideally, are schools of thought that we subscribe to.
That is.
That for you, Mr. Muchibi, you believe in the 10-point program of NRM. That for me, I believe in the power of the people as NUP, and that should be okay, and it should even allow us to sit on this table and have a conversation if we were civilized enough. So I think, and when you look at, you were mentioning, I'm glad you did, all the politicians that we have had. So all political parties are just an idea that they look at a national agenda, they draft it, and every young person should have a nationalistic idea that he can actually borrow from a political party. So it answers you into the national, because when you graduate from Makerere University, we have had people like the Honorable Dangote, who has now retired from politics, who right from Makerere went directly to the politics. So when you sealed the Makererians who are participating in politics from political parties, and then you want to usher them into the national arena, so you do not, in my view, you do not exactly cut it off, but we can regulate. And like I did say, Makerere is nobody hide under the disguise that political parties are characterizing or enhancing violence. Like I did say, the actual issues we have failed to manage political contestation. I'll give an example. We have had scenarios where when people are still contesting for the same flag, that means those are the same. I will assume that those are the same supporters of the same political party. But because there's political contestation, people still fight. So what we should do is we should manage political contestation, but candidates should be allowed to lean to and associate
favorite political parties,
and management can come up with whatever strategies they want to limit the involvement of political parties in their own wisdom. But it is unfair and illegal to say that nobody should lean towards a certain political party.
You mentioned Dangote on your list. I can add on Karuhanga, I can add on Norbert Mao, I can add on the late Mayombo, I can add on, we have one of our everyday panelists, Romushana, all of those were leaders at Makerere University, and thereafter they were ushered still into the political arena, and many of them are into, others were ministers, MPs and all that. Are you planning to take the same path immediately after the university?
I wouldn't say, because personally my idea of leadership is where I am pushed to a point where I can't say no. I am an electrical engineering student and an academic.
Yes.
I embrace my academics and I focus on that, but I also know that I possess skills that I can use to serve the people. But I only get involved until that point where the people think. I'll give an example. To run for girl president, a group of students and in large numbers who had served at the Hall of Residence in Sibirua came up and said, we think you should be our girl president, even when I wanted to be their chairman. And well, I tried to resist. They went ahead and picked for me a nomination form, paid by then the nomination fees 200,000, got 100 signatures and submitted, and only came for my signature to stamp. So I was like, if these 100 and many more who collected signatures think that I can serve them, and maybe I am denying this institution all my leadership skills, I should get involved. That will be the same scenario if I am supposed to answer myself in the national politics. It will be at a point where the people think that I am the one to serve, that I think I possess, and I will be denying them service if I do not run.
Currently, your constituency is represented by an NRM candidate, that is Lematia John, that is If West. Yeah. So, are you planning, because for your case you will now lean to NUP and is from NRM, do you have enough support that maybe you think people will come still get nomination form for you, I mean pay for you the dues and bring for you to sign and then you go to parliament?
Well, I think like I did say, my idea of political parties is that they're completely schools of thought, but there's so much attention we should pay to the personalities of the candidates. Whereas I think for me it's a blessing to wear the red beret, and I feel that I have the divine endowment, but there should be more to a candidate. So if the people of Ayivu East soon or later think in whatever way available they can communicate to me and I am the one to serve them, and I say soon or later, that for me will be a blessing, and when that time comes, I am sure I'll cross that bridge appropriately.
Now you accepted to stand for leadership, and then you emerged a winner. What are your plans for the university?
Thank you. I will be in history one of the shortest lived guild presidents. As in? And because in Feb there will be an electoral process in which I'll be handing over. So when you are, in my experience, when you have a very small time, the best you can be is to be very specific. Yes. But I'll tell you, Mr. Muchibi, at Makerere University, the biggest one of the students have disowned the association of students called the guild. A day to the elections and you traverse the university and you meet 20 students, 15 do not know that we are voting the next day. That is how distant students are from the students' guild or their activities. So I think the best justice my government to the students of Makerere is to store relevance and make them once again to own. And the best way to make the students own this students' guild, which is my idea of leadership, is that do not think for the people, think with the people. So we shall prioritize intellectual discourse and dialogue among students to harness and harvest their views adequately, and that is what we shall work on. But even as a government, we have things we want to work on, and we shall be as specific as possible. I'm a resident at the Hall of Residence, Sibirua Hall, but my colleagues in Lumba Hall, the hall was closed in the names of renovation, which we badly want as students. But from the start of the semester, we displaced over many students who on private sponsors will stay in the halls of residence. We didn't relocate them, but we have hurt them more by not putting any single brick on that hall for 2 months now. So students are beginning to question, including me myself, was the hall actually closed in the names of renovation, or we're closing down one of the strongest pillars of student resistance? And I think the whole world knows that. If you know Makerere University, then you know Lumumba Hall, that it has served to offer one of the strongest pillars of student resistance. So ours is to probe management, and I did say yesterday, in the most friendly way possible, unless otherwise, to immediately commence the renovation of those halls of residence and provide students with a timeline to renovate not only Lumumba Hall, but other halls of residence. And when they do so, they should be accommodative of our friends who are PWDs, because many of the halls are not very accessible to our friends who are PWDs. Secondly, Makerere celebrated 100 years, and many of people watched that celebration. But I wanted people to do themselves and count the number of students who were in that celebration. I am not aware, because I distanced myself from the process, but the students were not half. But in a university that has 40,000 students, and about 2%, if in fraction, people who are non-students involved, and then you have very few students in celebration. As students, we feel cut out from the mark at 100 celebrations. And as a guild president, I think the most befitting thing we'll do is to give the students a student-centered mark at 100 celebrations.
So you're planning to organize where are you going to get the funds?
No, it doesn't even have to be financial. Are you getting it? That's getting people to acknowledge, like getting people to acknowledge that we're celebrating 100 years, and let students write pieces. Let students recount their experience of Mark at 100 years. Let students be giving away that where we have reached, what they think they can be our future. Let students gather. It cannot even be a very expensive process unless we want to bring the president. Then we need security. And I appreciate the fact that
But do you need the president anyway?
Yes, he's the president of Uganda. It will be a blessing to have him at Mark at 100 celebrations. But Makerere is an academic, so we should pay more attention to not political people coming to the university. We should pay attention to, like, if I was on the committee for Mark at 100 celebrations, I would have paid more attention to people like the famous African writer Ngugi wa Thiong'o, who was a Makerere at some point,
yes,
and who have walked through those gates. That for me would have offered more inspiration than inviting a minister for maybe trade and something to come to Makerere University. I would have looked at all former Makerere Guild presidents. I would look at the historical people. There's a Guild president, his name has slipped my mind briefly, who was suspended from the university because he fought for the right of government students. And since then he has gone into, he has gone to, like I would say, a state of hibernation because of a medicine student. The university expelled him. The university expelled him because his contestation with them was the guild president, and he couldn't finish his course. He's at this point he's almost asking just for people to give him a comfortable house. And as a guild president, it hurts me to say fellow guild president in that state. But I mean, the Makerere is so rich that we do not need political players of this country to headline our Mark at 100 celebrations. We have people who have made us very proud on an international stage.
So for the short period of time when you're going to be, I mean, for your guildship, saying from now to February, your success is going to be judged upon those 3 yardsticks.
I was also saying that I will count myself unsuccessful if I leave this office minus probing management to provide a plan to avail us with adequate lecture rooms.
Okay.
Students of one of the biggest colleges, College of Humanities and Social Sciences and colleges of business, that is COBAMS, still walk to halls of residence, which are in a poor state to have lectures. Those halls of residence are halls of residence, not lecture rooms. So if you celebrate 100 years and you still have inadequate lecture rooms as an academic institution, where exactly are your priorities? So management will come with a comprehensive plan in the many things that they are doing to put up enough lecture rooms. Then, as a guild president, these are only a few of the many that I think. But also recently, management enacted a statute which is governing the students' leadership. Now, whereas I am not for the idea that management should be telling students how they should associate among themselves, but I think that statute itself has some few elements that we should correct. For example, year 1 students of Makerere University are not allowed to run for GRSC positions or even guild president. So
now, who represents them?
They are the other years. But that's not even my biggest concern. My biggest concern is that in this country, a senior 6 dropout can run for member of parliament and represent millions of Ugandans in parliament.
And the first-year student
at Makerere University, who has beat the tough academic standard of Makerere University to qualify. The last time I checked was the democratic process, which is about the electorates. If we think it's a year 1 to lead us, so be it. And if I thought management reasoning was that certain positions are very sensitive, like the guild president, yes. Like the ministerial positions.
But the GRSCs, I think,
yes,
first year can.
Ministerial positions, we can say that first year not be allowed to be ministers. Let them not allowed to be guild president. You get it? Which let them not allowed to be chairpersons of halls, chairpersons of colleges. But other positions they should be allowed to fill. They should be left to. In so doing, I'm even trying to be accommodative of their reasoning, which is what I think, if we were coming from that line, we should have done, but not cutting them completely out.
Dangote, yes. In your final remarks, why do you choose NOP and not any other political party as you conclude?
Thank you. I have had that question so often. So often so that NUP is a very young political party, and it is growing, and in growth, there are how should I say, challenges.
Yes.
But if you're growing under intense pressure and criticism, those challenges are headlined.
Yes. So
people usually question why I joined NUP vis-a-vis those challenges.
Yes.
But I will also say this, regardless of anything, of our generation, NUP is a generational blessing. In that me, Alionzi Lawrence, a single orphan to a peasant mother, can wear the red beret and say 2 words and the whole nation hears. So it is like a platform for those who have failed to speak, regardless of their status financially, biologically, tribal-wise, to be heard. If you're NUP, you will be heard, and there's that voice to speak to power. But in conclusion, I wanted to applaud the courage and the will of all my other opponents.
Yes.
Hussein Ibra, fellow Makererian, Justas, Honest, Namirembe Blessias, and I call them presidents themselves because the people who voted them, to them, they are presidents.
Yes.
So, Your Excellencies, I applaud all your courage and willingness to serve the Makererians. And I would want to, on this TV, extend a hand of brotherhood to all of you out there to invite you for us to work together. My prayer that we can be able to put the politics behind us, because now it's time to serve. At this point, I am the guild president of Makerere University, and now not the NUP candidate, though I am NUP, and that is a fact. But I'm inviting the Makererians out there that where we have reached, our strength has always been in our numbers. Let us proceed forward as Makererians, knowing no color, knowing no petty differences. And like I did say yesterday in a swearing in, I believe in a saying that if you're so attached to your tribe, religion, or political party to an extent that truth and justice become secondary considerations, then your education is useless, and so is your experience. As
we close, there's a tag. Is it a tagline or like a slogan they've been using in your campaigns? You can end with that.
Gallant Makererians, allow me to allow you to allow us to teach you a song, a Dangote.
Omulabi wa telefine yaffe webale kuba nti badde naffe programu eno zukuka n'ensonga era bwe tuwegenze sikala omulaba telefine yaffe ayi Katonda kuuma maaso mogi.